not want the best and brightest around the world to
I do. I do, but a lot of the people need remedial math. Did you see that? Where the students can't add 2 and 2, and they go to Harvard. They want remedial math, and they're going to teach remedial math at Harvard. No, wait a minute. So why would they get in? How can somebody that can't add or has very basic skills, how do they get into Harvard? Why are they there? And then you see those same people picketing and screaming at the United States and screaming at, they're anti-Semitic or they're something. We don't want someone...
Aboard Air Force One, he revealed that he took a cognitive test, which he aced, of course, much more so than any dumb lady Democrat could.
From the very beginning, it felt like a moment pulled straight from a late-night fever dream. Instead of quiet headlines or predictable commentary, the spotlight suddenly fell on Donald Trump after a new wave of remarks stirred up a social media storm. Comments about elite schools' intellectual tests, and who he believed did, or didn't, belong at places like Harvard spread like wildfire. Clips began circulating of Trump questioning how certain students were admitted and why remedial classes were becoming necessary. His tone wasn't soft or unsure, it was sharp, confident, and unmistakably Trump. But that wasn't the part that sent the internet into panic mode. The real explosion happened when Trump shifted into one of his most familiar routines, boasting about a cognitive exam he claims to have aced better than anyone. It wasn't the first time he brought it up, but somehow each retelling became even more dramatic than the last. According to him, doctors were stunned, the score was practically historic, and it cemented his superiority over critics he frequently labels as low IQ.
They have Jasmine Crockett, a low IQ person. AOC's low IQ. You give her an IQ test, have her pass like the exams that I decided to take.
Now, you know what? There's only one way to find out. Let's do it.
Names like AOC and Jasmine Crockett were tossed into his comments, sparking even more debate online. And then, enter Jimmy Kimmel. As always, the late-night host didn't hesitate to jump into the conversation with a comedic scalpel sharper than ever. His monologue painted the situation with humor so vivid that viewers couldn't decide whether to laugh, cringe, or replay it twice. Kimmel treated Trump's cognitive test pride like a legendary fable, embellishing the retold stories with imaginary trophies, fanfare, and stadium lights. Audiences erupted as Kimmel joked that Trump probably had his score framed above every mirror in his home. But what really turned the moment into internet gold was Trump's reaction. Kimmel barely wrapped up his segment before Trump fired back online. Late at night, dramatically, and with exactly the kind of tone social media has come to expect.
And by the way, I took my cognitive exam as part of my physical exam, and I got the highest mark, and one of the doctors said, "Sir, I've never seen anybody get that kind of one." That was the highest.
For like a month, the Republicans are trying to force Congress to choose between healthcare and food to open it up. Got a bunch of ghouls running the country. Prices are high. People are suffering. And just when you start to think, well, it couldn't get any worse than this, God throws a curveball like this one.
Tonight, the urgent search for dangerous research monkeys that escaped from the wreckage of a crash on a Mississippi highway.
Here's one of the monkeys right here. There's one sitting right there.
Kimmel teased that Trump watches the show live, maybe even while scrolling obsessively. The timing of Trump's posts only added to the comedy, especially when Kimmel joked about Trump typing with the intensity of someone defusing a bomb. By this point, the rivalry had evolved beyond a simple joke. It became a mini-spectacle. Trump's pride, Kimmel's punchlines, and the audience's fascination collided into a chaotic but undeniably entertaining moment. And as the reaction spread, one thing became clear. This wasn't going to fade quietly. But what came next pushed the saga into an entirely new level of comedy, tension, and unexpected twists. And trust me, the next chapter gets even wilder. As the online buzz continued to grow, the spotlight shifted once again, this time toward the way Jimmy Kimmel expanded his comedic breakdown of Trump's long-running habit of celebrating his own intelligence.
If you've been watching our show over the past 2 nights, you know I've been working on teeing up a major event. I think it could be bigger than the Super Bowl and Jake Paul fighting Dick Van Dyke combined. It could be very big. And all the credit goes to our Commander-in-Chief, Donald Trump, who strongly believes he would trounce 2 of his least favorite ladies in an IQ test.
For years, Trump has turned the cognitive test into a centerpiece of personal bragging rights. Whether he's discussing foreign policy, economics, or seemingly unrelated topics, He somehow finds a way to bring up the test as proof of unmatched brilliance. Kimmel seized this pattern with masterful timing. The late-night host escalated the humor by treating Trump's storytelling as if it were a legendary scientific breakthrough. In Kimmel's exaggerated world, Trump didn't simply take a cognitive exam, he revolutionized human understanding. He joked that Trump likely branded his test results on mugs, t-shirts, and decorative items throughout his homes. Each time Trump retold the story, Kimmel imagined it growing more heroic, more dramatic, more epic, as if Trump truly believed the exam unlocked a secret law of the universe. But Kimmel didn't stop there. He played old clips, connected them to new ones, and turned Trump's reactions into a continuous loop of comedy. When Trump posted angry comments online late at night questioning Kimmel's talent, ratings, or platform, Kimmel amplified the absurdity. He laughed at the idea that a former president was watching his show live, reacting instantly, and posting responses within minutes of the episode ending. To Kimmel, this wasn't political, it was cinematic. And then came the unexpected twist. Kimmel proposed turning Trump's own bragging into a televised spectacle, a giant IQ showdown.
I am very well aware. I know that he can't seem to find himself in the Oval Office to make sure that he can end this shutdown, but he does have time to troll me. So listen, if he's down, I'm down.
Do you notice any kind of a pattern when it comes to people he frequently refers to as low IQ people?
They tend to be women, and they tend to be women of color.
Yes, so you are smart.
In his monologue, he joked about setting up a nationwide event where Trump could finally prove his superiority by competing in a mental challenge against the very people he'd insulted. The audience erupted, knowing full well Trump would never accept such a challenge, but also knowing he wouldn't be able to ignore it either. As the laughter continued, the broader commentary became clear. Kimmel wasn't just mocking the cognitive test story, he was highlighting Trump's obsession with validation. Every time someone questioned him, Trump reacted with fiery emotion. Every joke, no matter how small, became a personal attack. Kimmel portrayed this as Trump's superpower, an ability to escalate even harmless comedy into full-scale drama. Then Kimmel moved on to reenacting Trump's speeches, treating them like movie trailers filled with slow-motion poses and triumphant energy. According to Kimmel, Trump delivered even basic remarks as if waiting for heavenly light to shine down in applause. And audiences loved it because it wasn't mean, it was accurate. Trump's delivery style has always bordered on theatrical, and Kimmel leaned directly into that visual. The result? A monologue that evolved beyond jokes and became a timeline of Trump's greatest hits, each one exaggerated just enough to highlight the absurdity audiences remembered vividly. But the real storm was still ahead. Everything escalates when Kimmel dives into Trump's online feuds, his obsession with ratings, and the larger-than-life persona he believes the world must admire. Get ready, this is where the rivalry hits maximum chaos.